Hello everyone. It's great to see you again in today's video. CEO James and CEO Hung are brothers, raised together by their parents, and both were entrusted with managing the family business in Vietnam. However, Hung's younger brother was adopted by James' parents at a young age. CEO James and CEO Hung are the key figures in the story, having grown up together in the same family and both entrusted with managing the family business in Vietnam. However, their story is quite special, especially regarding their family dynamics and the development of their business. Both of them were given the responsibility of running the family business at an early age, which not only reflects their parents' trust in their talents and leadership abilities but also serves as a testament to the strong foundation their family had to create a lasting impact in the business world. Growing up in a competitive and challenging environment, CEO James and CEO Hung have faced numerous challenges throughout their career development. Both men have different views and approaches to work, yet they have always managed to support each other. CEO James, with his youth and progressive outlook, is always seeking opportunities to innovate and expand the business, while CEO Hung, with his experience and wisdom, is the one who preserves and protects the company's traditional values. Despite sometimes having differing views, it is these differences that strengthen their ability to face challenges both in business and in life. Interestingly, despite growing up together under the same roof, the story of CEO James and CEO Hung is not simply the story of two brothers. An important factor in their lives is the appearance of Hung's younger brother, who was adopted by James' parents when he was still very young. This event plays a significant role not only in the family dynamic but also in the relationships of love and business that would follow. The relationship between James and his adopted younger brother helped create a solid bond between the two families, bringing them to deeper connections in the future. The adoption of Hung's younger brother by James' family was not just a change in family structure but also a reflection of the values and ideals that James' family upheld. While Hung's family maintained traditional values, James' family embraced more progressive and open-minded values, as demonstrated by their willingness to adopt a child who was not biologically their own. This highlights James' family's openness and readiness to help those in need, regardless of whether they are biological family members or not. From a young age, CEO Hung and his adopted younger brother were raised in different environments, which provided them with greater opportunities for development. While James and his adopted brother received a solid education and were nurtured by the family, CEO Hung had to build his career on his own, developing the company and creating his own path. This created differences in how they viewed and approached business and life. Despite these differences, the bond and mutual support between James and CEO Hung remained strong. They always understood that they were essential parts of each other's lives and work. An important aspect of this story is the inheritance and development of the family business. While both James and CEO Hung have their own strengths and weaknesses, they both understand that in order to move the company forward, they need to combine their strengths. Thus, the decision by their parents to entrust them with the management of the company was not only a sign of trust but also a hope that they would work together to take the family business to greater heights. In the present context, the relationship between CEO James and CEO Hung is not just a bond between two brothers but also a fusion of two generations with different viewpoints, which complement each other in both work and life. This relationship will continue to impact their decisions and actions in the years ahead as they face even greater challenges and work toward long-term goals for the family business. It is certain that in the years to come, the collaboration and brotherly love between James and Hung will provide a solid foundation to strengthen the family business and give it the ability to compete on the international market, where challenges and opportunities await. Hung met Lai Tu-sia, a single mother, and they developed a romantic relationship, despite facing opposition from their families due to social class differences. The love story between CEO Hung and Lai Tu-sia began under quite special circumstances. Lai Tu-sia, a single mother, had gone through many hardships in life, especially raising her child alone. She is a resilient woman who, despite facing numerous setbacks, continues to strive tirelessly to overcome difficulties. In stark contrast to Lai Tu-sia, CEO Hung comes from a wealthy family with high social status. This created a clear discrepancy between the two, not only in their personal lives but also in their perspectives on society. At the time they met, Lai Tu-sia was living with her young daughter and was deeply concerned about her future, as her life was extremely difficult. Lai Tu-sia had an unhappy marriage, endured mistreatment from her ex-husband and mother-in-law. She had to raise her daughter alone after the divorce, struggling financially and working tirelessly to provide for her family. Meanwhile, CEO Hung was on the cusp of a flourishing career, but little did he know he would also face emotional challenges. The encounter between CEO Hung and Lee Tu-ca was not a typical romantic relationship. They came together not just because of love, but also due to mutual understanding and empathy for each other's struggles. Despite coming from a wealthy and powerful family, CEO Hung never looked down on Lee Tu-ca's difficult circumstances. On the contrary, he admired her strength and resilience, seeing these qualities as valuable and admirable. Over time, this admiration developed into love, as Hung realized that Lee Tu-ca was the woman he wanted to be with, someone he could share his life's difficulties with. However, this relationship was far from simple. Due to the difference in their social classes, CEO Hung faced opposition from his family, especially from his father. CEO Hung's father was a conservative man who valued traditional ideals. He did not accept the idea of his son being in a relationship with a woman from a lower social class, especially when Lee Tu-ca did not come from a wealthy family and had no prestigious background. He feared that this relationship would only bring suffering and unhappiness to his son. Despite this, CEO Hung remained determined to pursue his love. He was unwilling to let his family's disapproval change his decision. He understood that true love was not dependent on social status, wealth, or material possessions. To him, Lee Tu-ca was the only woman he could love and cherish. Her strength, independence, and perseverance deepened his admiration and affection for her. Despite facing fierce opposition from his family, CEO Hung decided to protect his love for Lee Tu-ca and welcome her into his life. The relationship also faced another challenge when Lee Tu-ca became pregnant with her ex-husband's second child. This further heightened the concerns of CEO Hung's family, as they felt Lee Tu-ca brought too much baggage and was not worthy of their son. However, CEO Hung refused to let these prejudices affect his decision. He recognized that Lee Tu-ca needed support, love, and care, and he was the one who could provide that for her. Through persistence and genuine affection, CEO Hung and Lee Tu-ca overcame all the obstacles. Over time, Hung's support and love for Lee Tu-ca helped her stabilize her life. Even though CEO Hung's family did not fully accept their relationship, he proved that true love could overcome any societal barriers. It was through his determination in love and patience that things gradually started to change. Despite the difficulties, he continued to pursue his love for her and protect Lee Tu-ca and her daughter until they could begin a better life together. The relationship between CEO Hung and Lee Tu-ca is not merely a love story, it is a tale of empathy, resilience, and an unwavering fight to overcome life's challenges. They have proven that love does not discriminate based on social status, wealth, or class, and sometimes, those who come from humble beginnings are the ones who provide true strength and love to others. Their story serves as an inspiration for anyone facing hardship and adversity in life. Lee Tu-ca had a difficult life, including an early marriage, an imprisoned ex-husband, and a strained relationship with her mother-in-law. She had to raise her daughter alone after being divorced, facing financial difficulties and working tirelessly to support her family. Lee Tu-ca had a life marked by many challenges. Her life was not easy from a very young age. She got married when she was only 16, a decision she later realized was too rushed and unprepared. By the time she was 17, Lee Tu-ca had already become a mother, but this marriage did not bring the happiness she had imagined. Her marriage was unhappy, and these were the most difficult years of her life that she would never forget. Her ex-husband not only treated her poorly but also became entangled in legal issues, leading to his imprisonment for an unknown reason. Despite being a victim of domestic violence, this event left her further condemned by society and her ex-husband's family. Lee Tu-ca's mother-in-law, instead of supporting her during the hard times of her husband's imprisonment, blamed Lee Tu-ca for the situation, which led to constant conflicts between them. Lee Tu-ca's life worsened when she was eventually kicked out of her ex-husband's family home. At that point, she became a single mother, forced to shoulder all responsibilities for her child. Not only did she face loneliness, but she also had to handle all the financial burdens of raising a child. Despite this, Lee Tu-ca never gave up. She began working multiple jobs to make ends meet, from selling vegetables and fruits at the local market to harvesting crops from cheap gardens and selling them. However, no matter how hard she worked, the income from these jobs was just enough to keep her and her daughter surviving day by day. Life was not only difficult but also full of pressure. Lai Tu-ca had to face not just financial hardship but also societal stigma. As a young woman, divorced with a small child, she was looked down upon by many in society. These prejudices made her feel like she was living in a cold, alien world, where people viewed her with pity and suspicion. However, it was during this time of hardship, when life seemed to have no way out, that Lai Tu-ca found help from an unexpected source, CEO Hung. He was a successful man, born into a wealthy family with power and influence. While Lai Tu-ca struggled daily to provide for her child, CEO Hung lived in comfort. Yet, instead of seeing her as a pitiful person, he saw her with empathy and respect. When CEO Hung met Lai Tu-ca, she did not expect that their relationship would go as far as it did. She was still very skeptical about the possibility of changing her life, especially considering her difficult circumstances and the stark differences between them. However, CEO Hung saw qualities in her that no one else had seen. He recognized her resilience, strength, and inner strength that Lai Tu-ca had built over the years of hardship. It was these qualities that drew him to her, and a connection began based on mutual respect and understanding. Despite their social class differences, CEO Hung never saw Lai Tu-ca as weak or a burden. He saw her as a strong woman, an admirable mother. This feeling gradually developed into love, and in his heart, Lai Tu-ca became the person he wanted to take care of and protect. Their relationship was not just about love, it was about mutual understanding and sharing life's struggles. He didn't view her through the lens of poverty or hardship, he saw her as a valuable woman who was capable of loving and deserving of love. However, life was not easy, and their relationship faced challenges as well. Lai Tu-ca still carried deep scars from her past. The pain from her failed marriage, the societal prejudice, and the strained relationships with her ex-husband's family made it hard for her to open her heart fully. She felt doubtful and at times, scared of the love CEO Hung offered her. The wounds of the past couldn't heal overnight, but CEO Hung's patience gradually helped her heal those wounds. In the end, CEO Hung's love helped Lai Tu-ca overcome her fears and doubts. He not only helped her financially but also helped her overcome the mental barriers. With his support, she began to feel peace and hope for a better future. Lai Tu-ca no longer felt alone, and most importantly, she started to believe that she deserved a better life, no matter how difficult her past had been. The relationship between CEO Hung and Lai Tu-ca is a testament to the power of love and resilience. They have proven that, no matter how difficult life gets, sincere love and empathy can help people overcome any challenge. The father of CEOs James and Hung, although a loving and concerned parent, held strong conservative views, especially when it came to choosing a partner for his sons. The relationships between both brothers and the women they loved, Lai Taka and Lai Tu-deep, were met with intense opposition from their father. The main reason for this opposition was the difference in social status between these women and their family. The father of James and Hung, coming from a family of high social standing, was raised with the belief that marriage must be carefully considered based on status, wealth, and family background. This was particularly important in the social context he lived in, where social standing and wealth were decisive factors in choosing a life partner. When CEO Hung decided to love and marry Lai Taka, a poor single mother, it made his father very angry. He believed that Lai Taka was not worthy of holding a place as a woman in a prestigious family, where all members must adhere to strict social norms. Not only was Lai Taka from a poor background, but she was also a woman who had a child from a previous marriage and an imperfect past. Hung's father feared that this relationship would bring pain and trouble to his son, which would tarnish the noble image of the family he had built throughout his life. Similarly, when CEO James started to develop feelings for Lai Tu-deep, a woman also from a poor background who had gone through an unhappy marriage and had to raise a child alone, his father continued to oppose. He could not accept that his son, a man who could have any woman in society, would fall in love with a woman with such a bleak past and difficult living conditions. James' father believed that the relationship would not last due to the significant differences in their lifestyles and worldviews between the two families. However, despite many legitimate reasons for opposition, the love between CEO Hung and CEO James could not be stopped. Both brothers were determined to pursue their own paths of love, regardless of their family's disapproval. CEO Hung not only loved Lai Taka but also cared for and protected her, loving her child as his own. He did not let difficulties or family opposition interfere with his feelings. Similarly, CEO James was ready to stand up for Lai Tu-dip despite the strong opposition from his father, even though he knew this might make family relations tense and difficult. In the end, although their father could not immediately accept their relationships, he could not deny the genuine love both CEOs had for the women. After a long period of reflection and witnessing the changes in his sons' lives, their father began to realize that love could not be measured by social standing. He saw that, despite Lai Taka and Lai Tu-dip not having a large family background, they were women full of love, sacrifice, and devotion. These qualities made the CEOs feel that they had found worthy life partners. However, despite accepting his son's love, their father still could not live in a society where he felt so different from the choices his sons had made. After accepting their relationships, he decided to live abroad to escape the noise and pressures from both family and society. While he accepted his son's love, this decision showed that he still could not fully integrate with the choices his children had made. He chose to live abroad, hoping to find peace and avoid family conflicts. The acceptance of their father's love, though delayed, marked an important turning point. This not only reflected a change in his perception of love but also showed that sometimes, we need to accept differences and change in order to live harmoniously with our loved ones. Although he could not live close to his children, he still hoped they would find happiness and success in life. This story is also a lesson about love, sacrifice, and patience in accepting differences and seeking true happiness, despite the barriers that society or family may impose.
Bài thơ đồng chí: quê hương anh nước mặn đồng chua, làng tôi nghèo đất cải nên sỏi đá. Anh với tôi đôi người xa lạ, tự phương trời chẳng hẹn quen nhau. Súng bên súng đầu sát bên đầu, đêm rét chung chăn thành đôi chi kỷ. Đồng chí, ruộng nương anh gửi bạn thân cải, gian nhà không mặc kệ gió lung lay. Giếng nước gốc đa nhớ người ra nính, anh với tôi biết từng cơn ớn lạnh. Sốt run người vầng trán ướt mồ hôi, áo anh rách vai, quần tôi có vài mảnh vá. Miệng cười buốt giá, chân không dày, thương nhau tay nắm lấy bàn tay. Đêm nay rừng hoang sương muối, đứng cạnh bên nhau chờ giặc tới, đầu súng trong treo. Bài thơ đồng chí được sáng tác vào đầu năm 1948, sau khi tác giả đã cùng đồng đội tham gia vào chiến đấu trong chiến dịch Việt Bắc Thu Đông năm 1947, đánh bại cuộc tổng tiến công quy mô lớn của giặc Pháp nên chiến khu Việt Bắc. Bài thơ là một trong những tác phẩm tiêu biểu nhất về người lính cách mạng và văn học kháng chiến chống Pháp từ năm 1946 đến năm 1954.